Good morning students. Today we are going to start a new topic, that is ray optics, which is a very important part of our class 12 syllabus. Now ray optics is what? Ray optics is a phenomena of particle nature of light. Light and the nature of light is a matter of debate for a very long time. Now many scientists believe that light has a particle nature and many scientists believe that light has a particle nature. So considering light to be having a particle nature, we are going to study the ray optics part. Now this ray optics is basically divided into two categories. Number one is reflection of light. And the second part, which is covering the most of the syllabus, it is refraction of light. So at first we will going to study the reflection of light and then we will study the refraction of light. The refraction of light part also consists of many important topics. That is basically the basic refraction part, refraction through lens, dispersion of light, and number 4, that is optical instruments. Okay, so we will study this whole topic ray optics in 3 to 4 sessions so that we can cover every part with a very small duration of videos, which will help you to grow and understand the basic things of this chapter very carefully. Reflection of light. I know that everybody have studied reflection of light in class 10. Still I am repeating this. What is reflection of light? First you write the definition. The definition of reflection of light is the phenomena of bending back of light rays after striking a smooth surface. The phenomena of bending back of light rays after striking a smooth surface is known as reflection of light. Now reflection of light can be seen anywhere. As you can see, if I switch on light over here, then also you can see me. Why? Because the light after falling on my body gets reflected to your eyes. That is why you can see me. So reflection of light has a great importance in our everyday life. Now, what is the pictorial definition of reflection? Let this be a reflecting surface. Let this be a reflecting surface and a ray of light. This is a ray of light which is falling on this reflecting surface, gets back after striking the surface. So it gets back after striking the surface, and this phenomena is known as reflection of light. Now we will draw a perpendicular at the point, and this point where the light strikes the surface is known as point of incidence. This ray is known as incident ray. This ray is known as reflected ray, and this is known as normal. And the angle the incident ray makes with the normal is called angle of incidence, and the angle the incident ray makes with the reflected ray, the normal makes with the reflected ray is known as angle of reflection. Here I is known as angle of reflection and R is known as angle of I is known as angle of incidence. And R is known as angle of reflection. And the angle between the incident ray and the reflected ray, this angle is known as angle of deviation, delta. Angle of deviation. So these three are the very basic parts of reflection of light. I hope all of you have understood everything very clearly. Now if you face any doubt over here, you just see the video once again, it will be helpful for you. Now it is a very important topic, laws of reflection of light. What are the laws of reflection of light? Let us understand one by one. Number one, the incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal at the point of incidence lies on the same plane. Number two, the angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection. That is, we can write angle I equal to angle R. These two are very important to study this chapter, ray optics. Spherical mirrors. Mirrors which are a part of a sphere. Plane mirror is a very easy topic. All of you have studied plane mirror in class 10. So I think it is not necessary for me to repeat plane mirrors again for you, the class 12 students. Now, spherical mirrors, mirrors which are a part of a sphere. Now, spherical mirrors are classified into two categories, and that you know also, that is concave mirrors and convex mirrors. These are the two types of mirrors that are known as spherical mirrors. Now, concave mirrors are also known as converging mirrors, and convex mirrors are also known as diverging mirrors. Now, the reason for this concave mirror to be termed as converging mirrors, why these are termed as converging mirrors, let us see. So, concave mirrors are basically the type of mirror in which the reflected part or the reflected side or the mirror part is on the inside of the curve and the outside part is shaded with silver or mercury. Now, what happens in a converging mirror, that whenever any light ray falls on it, what it makes? It makes the light rays to move towards its center. Okay, and the reason for calling a convex mirror as diverging mirror, because whenever any light ray falls on this convex mirror, what it makes? It makes the light ray to reflect outwards. Okay? So this is the basic difference between a concave mirror and a convex mirror. And it is also very important that you give the arrows properly while drawing a ray diagram. Concave mirror and terms related to concave mirror. Now, here you can see that this is a concave mirror. Now, the first and the most important part is that this concave mirror is a part of a sphere. So, if we draw a sphere, then it is obvious that this sphere must have a radius, a center and a radius. The center of the sphere is known as center of curvature. So this is the first term we have got, center of curvature. So what is center of curvature? Center of curvature is the center of the sphere whose part is this mirror. Now the radius of this center, the radius of this sphere that is drawn from the center to the body of the mirror is known as radius of curvature. Radius of curvature represented by R. Okay? This is R. The next important point is number 3, aperture. What is aperture? Aperture is the part of the mirror that is available for reflection. Suppose we consider this to be the part of the mirror that is available for reflection. Then this is the aperture of the mirror. Another important point is pole, which is exactly in the middle of the concave mirror. So fourth one is pole, represented by P. Okay. Now another very important point, that is fifth one, is focus, which is represented by capital F. The focus lies exactly between the center of curvature and the pole. Here lies the focus, and the distance from the focus to the pole of the mirror, represented by small f, is called the focal length. Focal length, which is represented by small f. And the imaginary line that joins all these points, center of curvature, focus, pole, all these points are joined by an imaginary line known as principal axis. This is the form of concave mirror and various terms related to concave mirror. Now, it is very important for us to know what is focus exactly. Focus. to understand what is focus, we have to see this diagram of the concave mirror. If this is a concave mirror, and let us consider this to be the principal axis, and this is the center of curvature, and this is the pole, then any ray of light which are parallel to the principal axis after reflection passes through a common point, and this common point is known as focus. This is how a focus is defined. This is how a focus is defined, a very important definition for concave mirror. Behavior of light rays on reflection from concave mirror. So basically, when light rays falls on a concave mirror, it reflects. Now the reflection of light for various type of lights, that is the position of lights, how they are falling, it is very much significant for the process of reflection. Now the first one what we will study is when a ray of light falls parallel to the principal axis. If this is the principal axis and this is the focus and this is the center of curvature, then a ray of light falling parallelly on the mirror after reflection passes through a point on the principal axis known as focus. This we have studied from the definition of focus also. The second one is the ray of light that falls on the mirror after reflection from the concave mirror. The ray of light that falls on the concave mirror through the focus after reflection becomes parallel to the principal axis. Number 3, now the ray of light that falls on the mirror through the center of curvature after reflection retraces the same path. Number 4, a ray of light that falls directly on pole making an angle with the principal axis gets reflected with same angle with the principal axis. So these 4 are very important for us to draw the ray diagrams for concave mirror. Okay, you should understand all 4 of this because these are very helpful for us to draw the ray diagrams. Relation between focal length and radius of curvature for a concave mirror. What is the focal length? This is the focal length. The distance between the focus and the pole is known as the focal length, and the distance between the center of curvature and the pole is known as radius of curvature. Okay, now how to get the definition? A ray of light parallel to the principal axis after reflection passes through the focus. This we have got from the definition of focus. Now this ray, as it is getting a reflection, so it should follow the laws of reflection also. So laws of reflection states that angle I must be equal to angle R, that is angle of incidence must be equal to angle of reflection. So how it can maintain that? There must be a normal which will refer that. So a normal is drawn from the center of curvature. This is the normal. So So it will follow the case that angle I equals to angle R. Now let us consider this to be angle I and this to be angle R. Let angle I equals to theta and angle R is also equal to theta. Now as angle R is also theta, so this angle will also be equal to theta. Let us give names A, B. So angle BCF is also equal to theta. Angle BCF is equal to angle ABC is equal to theta. Why? Alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles. Now if we draw a perpendicular from B, then here makes an angle 90 degrees, so it is N. Now in this triangle you can see that this angle is equal to 2 theta. Why it is 2 theta? Angle BFN is equal to angle BCF plus angle CBF is equal to theta plus theta, that is equal to 2 theta. As sum of two interior angles of a triangle is equal to exterior angle. So it is 2 theta. Now you see, in triangle CBN, tan theta is equal to BN by CN. Since theta is very small, therefore theta is equal to BN by CN. This is equation 1. And in triangle FBN, tan 2 theta will be equal to BN by FN, or we can write 2 theta equals to BN by FN. This is equation 2. Now what we can do is, from 1 and 2, 2 into BN by FN, 2 into BN by CN is equal to BN by FN. So BN gets cancelled. So we are getting Fn is equal to Cn by 2. Okay. Now we will do some considerations. Since N lies very close to P, since N lies very close to P, therefore Cn is equal to Cp equal to R, and Fn is equal to Fp is equal to small f. Therefore this equation becomes F is equal to R by 2. This is the relation between focal length and radius of curvature for a concave mirror. Students, this is the table showing the formation of images by a concave mirror. Here it has been shown what will be the nature of the image and position of the image for different position of objects kept in front of a concave mirror. So when the object is at infinity, it will be formed at the focus, and the nature of the image will be real, inverted and point sized. When the object is beyond C, that is it is present between infinity and center of curvature, the image will be formed in between the center of curvature and focus. It will be a real inverted and diminished image. When the object is present at the center of curvature, the image will be also formed at the center of curvature, and the image will be real, inverted, and the object size and image size will be exactly same. When the object is kept between the center of curvature and focus, then the image is formed behind C, that is beyond C, and the image has a nature real, inverted, and magnified nature, that is the size will be greater in this case. When the object is kept at focus, the image is formed at infinity and it is a real, inverted, and magnified image. When the object is kept between focus and pole, the image is formed behind the mirror, and this is the only case where the nature of the image is virtual. It is virtual, erect, and highly magnified image. It is a single case for a concave mirror where the image formed is a virtual one. Okay, so this is a very important example that we should keep in mind. Sign convention. Sign convention is a very important aspect for ray optics, especially in case of reflection of light. The sign convention are as follows. You understand sign convention very well because this will be very much helpful for you for solving the numericals of this chapter. Now, let us consider this to be the same as coordinate axis of x and y. Let the origin to be named as pole. This is the P, that is pole of the mirror is kept at the origin. Then any measurement that we made on the left side of the pole will be taken as negative, and any measurement taken on the right side of the pole will be taken as positive. Okay, similarly any measurement which is done downwards will be negative, and any measurement that is done upward will be taken positive. Now, using these sign conventions, we will solve the different numericals of this chapter, and using this sign convention only we will derive the mirror formula. Now, let us derive the mirror formula. Mirror formula for concave mirror forming real image. Let this be a concave mirror. This is the principal axis, this is the focus, and this be the center of curvature. Okay, let us keep an object AB over here. Okay, now if we draw a line as a ray of light which is parallel to the principal axis, we know by definition that it will pass through the focus. Now, any ray of light that passes through the center of curvature and falls on the mirror after reflection traces the same path. This also we have seen. And the another ray of light which falls on this pole gets reflected, making the same angle with the principal axis, like this. So what we can see is an image is formed over here. Which is named as A dashed B dashed. Now you can see that here in this diagram, triangle ABP is similar to triangle A dashed B dashed P. See, in triangle ABP, this is a 90-degree angle and this is also a 90-degree angle in triangle A dash B dash P, and this angle will be equal to this angle by the laws of reflection. So this law will be followed. Now, as these two triangles are similar to each other, then we can write AB by A dashed B dashed will be equal to BP by B dashed P. Let us mention this equation as equation 1. Now again, triangle ABC is similar to triangle A dashed B dashed C. So this is a 90-degree and this is a 90-degree, and these two angles are vertically opposite to each other. So these two triangles are similar to each other by angle criteria. Now what we can write is AB by A dashed B dashed is equal to BC by B dashed C. This is equation 2. Now from 1 and 2, what we can do is we can take BP by B dashed P is equal to BC by B dashed C. Now here BP can be written as BC plus CP, and B dashed P can be written as CP now I am very sorry, in this case we will write BP by B dashed P is equal to BC. BC can be written as BP minus CP, and B dashed P can be written as B dash C can be written as CP minus B dashed P. Now here you can see that this is the image distance, object distance U, and this is the image distance V. Okay, and from center of curvature this is the radius and this is the focal length. Okay, now what we can do is, using sign convention, BP will be equal to minus U, B dashed P will be equal to minus V, because all measurements are taken on left hand side, and CP will be equal to minus R. So this equation can be written as, BP can be written as minus U by minus V is equal to minus U minus of minus R by minus R minus of minus V. So from U by V is equal to minus U plus R by minus R plus V. So U minus UR plus UV is equal to minus UV plus RV. Now where we are heading now? Now from here we can write 2uv equal to rv plus ru, and from here we can write that 2 by r equals to u by uv plus v by uv. So from here if we cancel the u and v's like this, we are getting 1 by v plus 1 by u as 1 by f. This is the mirror formula. Since r by 2 is equal to focal length, this we have proved earlier. So I hope that you have understood this derivation quite well. You understand this derivation. This is a very important derivation that may come in your board examinations also. Okay. Now we will discuss about mirror formula for concave mirror forming virtual image. So the diagram will also change then. Okay. Forming virtual image. So we are changing the diagram. Sorry. Now students, you know that in case of a concave mirror there is only one case when the formation of image is a virtual, that is when the object is placed between the focus and the pole of the mirror. So let us draw the diagram like this. Let this be the object A and this is B point of the object. Okay, and let us draw the rays of light. These are the rays of light. Light parallel to the principal axis, after reflection passes through the focus, and another ray of light that falls on the mirror through the center of curvature gets reflected on the same path, and if we extend them backward, and another ray of light which falls on the pole gets reflected like this. So the image is formed, the position of the image we have got. Okay, so if we extend the principal axis, this is the image, this is A dashed and this is B dashed. Okay, now some things will be changed over here. This is U and this is V. Okay, so the derivation, the process will also change then. So here also in triangle ABP and triangle A dash B dash P, both are similar to each other, and AB by A dash B dash is equal to BP by B dash P. That is also similar up to this point. Now in triangle ABC also, ABC and A dash B dash C both are similar. So we can write AB by A dash B is equal to BC by B dash C. Now here what we can do is, we can write BP by B dash P is equal to, so here the BC will be equal to R minus, that is CP minus BP. and B dash C will be equal to Cp plus B dash P. Now in this case, Cp will be equal to minus R and Bp will be equal to minus U, because it is measured on this direction, left hand side, and B dash P will be equal to plus V, because the measurement is on right hand side. The measurement is done on the right hand side. That is why the V is taken as positive over here. Therefore, what is the formation of equation now? Now Bp will be negative, so minus U by V is equal to minus R minus of minus U divided by minus R plus V. So we are getting UR minus UV is equal to minus RV plus UV. So we are getting RV plus RU is equal to 2UV. Now if we divide both sides and we arrange something, then we will get U by UV plus V by UV is equal to 2 by R, and cutting all this we are getting 1 by V plus 1 by U equals to 1 by F. Since we know that R by 2 equals to F. So this is the derivation of mirror formula when virtual image is formed. In both the cases, the formula is same. Magnification. Now magnification is a very important topic for concave mirror. So let us first define magnification. It is defined as the ratio of size of the image to the size of the object. So magnification M is equal to height of the image by height of the object. Okay, for mirror it is the concept of magnification. Now in this diagram you can see that AB is the height of the object and A dash B is the height of the image. So we can write this as height of the object and this as height of the image. Okay, now so triangle ABP is similar to triangle A dashed B dashed P. So what we can do is, taking AB by A dashed B dashed is equal to BP by B dashed P. Now what is AB? AB is the height of the object and A dashed B dashed is the height of the image. And what is BP? BP is the object distance, that is minus U, and B dashed P is the image distance, that is plus V in this case. Therefore magnification is equal to height of the image by height of the object. So it will be B dashed P by BP. So it will come out to be V by minus U. Therefore we can write M is equal to minus V by U. This is another formula for magnification of an object through a concave mirror. So that is all for magnification. I hope you have understood reflection of light through a concave mirror in details from this video session. The reflection of light through a convex mirror, that we will discuss on the next session. Until then, thank you and have a nice day.